pipes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Rob,
Hey,
did you hear that?
no.
Oh, interesting. Well, the rest of the world did. So, this is the show, man.
All right, cool. I guess the music went off.
It did.
All right. Well, I could not hear us.
Whoops.
Well, that's perfectly fine. Well, hello everybody. It is the DC Comics Review Show number 158. As you just heard me say prior during the intro music, this is the Geek Matrix, the world's greatest comic show about the world's greatest superheroes. And as I've already said, it's Rob here. Joining me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Josh with the dad joke.
Hello. Are you obsessed with Wonder Woman? With Supergirl? With Batwoman? If so, you may be a heroin addict.
Uh, okay, that was a good one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. I'll give you that.
Yes.
And if we're talking Jessica Cruz, then yes, I'm a heroin addict.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we are streaming. Yeah, that was not meant to be a Jim Carrey mask impression. Just kind of came out that way. We are streaming our podcast this week and every week going forward, if I'm not mistaken. We're getting into the streaming game. I see a lot of other podcasts have been doing that recently, and it's been a thing a lot of podcasts have been doing for years. It is. We figured why not get in the game as well. We're here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Are these going up on YouTube after as well?
We are live streaming to Twitch and YouTube as we speak.
All right, and if I remember right, when you live stream on YouTube, it converts to a video after, so it should get posted to our account directly after the stream is done, or if I remember, within 24 hours or something like that.
It's pretty close. We'll also be releasing the video podcasts on Spotify as well as the regular podcasts on Spotify and everywhere else.
Right on. Yeah, so if any of you have wondered what we look like and you haven't seen one of our live streams before, here's our ugly mugs.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you don't know by now, and I don't know why you wouldn't, if you want to know how to reach us, we do have a website. And if you don't know that website's address, which by now I don't know why you wouldn't unless you're a brand new listener, it's thegeekmatrixpod.com. And on that page, which has been revamped recently, you have links to all our social medias, podcasts, and bonus stuff, including a link to our Discord where you can subscribe for $2.99 a month in the US, or even our Substack for our text reviews. There's all sorts of stuff on there. Check it out if you haven't yet. Even a bit of information on all of us hosts as well. Everybody in the network, which is really cool. I might want to update my photo, actually. I don't know what photo I have on there now.
Oh, hell. I took them all down. It was getting everything all lined up and organized, and everything was seriously so hard. And
Yeah.
then when I made one adjustment, it took me 3 days to fix it. So I was just, if you want to know what we look like, if you want to hang out, you have to watch the podcast and you have to come in and hang out in our Discord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Very simple.
For a heroin addict.
All right, so what's going on, man? Like what's new in the world?
Oh, not a lot. Yeah, I guess I'm talking a little slower. I had quite a event here a little over a week ago when Rob and Brandon had to take over, but I'm back and gonna keep plugging along because if who else is gonna tell these comics that they're a piece of shit? Brandon and Rob are too nice.
We like them.
I love them. That's why I get mad when they let me down.
What the hell was that?
Me knocking down the bad comic books.
Right. Ooh. So I've been paying attention to McFarlane today because they started their summer showcase. McFarlane
Nice.
Toys. And they just posted another one 41 minutes ago. The Batman 66. I don't even know what this is. I think it's a spacesuit.
Oh no.
I don't know if you can see it there.
Oh wow. Yeah, that looks like his. No, I don't think it's a spacesuit. I think that's
Scuba
his. I think that's his scuba suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that episode. I don't think he went to space.
Yeah, thinking about it now, like that might have been a little too out there for Batman in 1966.
Which is saying quite a lot if
Yeah.
if you've
I was
ever seen
gonna
Batman
send-
66.
Yeah. I was gonna send you and Brandon a link. They posted all the videos of the releases that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con,
Yeah.
including a bunch of new ones for the superhero or superpowers line. The 5-inch figures. They're not superposable, but they're just cute little classic type action figures.
Uh-huh.
I've got a John Stewart one. It's actually quite nice. But they're doing. I'll send it to you. But they got some Batman figures coming out, including the worst Nightwing costume, the one that was after Disco Bat with the yellow collar, and as well as the best Tim Drake costume.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Brandon is going to dive for that Nightwing. He'll be going into his LCS swinging with elbows everywhere. Give me my Nightwing. That's awesome. I really need to take a look at and see this one.
Yeah, I'll send it to Discord right now.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I think that's all that's been like really interesting this week.
Right on.
I've got my Alan Scott figure coming soon. It's in the mail.
Sweet.
It's on the way.
All right, so I have no idea what that is supposed to be. I mean, it looks like a spacesuit, but I mean, I don't remember that at all.
Batman 66 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the. Oh, gosh. I hate browsing stuff on I don't want to log in Instagram. I'll look at it later.
Fair enough. Yeah, some interesting stuff coming down the line from them, I gotta say.
Oh, man, that leak you shared, couple of those are gorgeous, man.
So, if you're a figure collector and for some reason you want to avoid spoilers, spoiler alert.
Right?
Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro? Hell yeah. My dream of a JLI is getting closer.
And closer.
Yes, sir. That Sinestro figure though, I need that Sinestro figure.
Yeah. I can't tell if I like it or not
Well,
from the picture.
That I wouldn't trust the picture. It's just a pre-render.
That's what I mean.
Or render of it's not what it's going to look like after it's finished. Like it's just basically a promo image to say that this is what's coming.
Right.
But the mold is going to look very different.
That's fingers crossed, man.
Yeah. That Hawkman, the costume they have for Hawkman there is the costume they're going to go with. Well, that may not be the final figure, but that's still the design they're going with.
Need to lay off on the abs and give him a shit ton of chest hair, and he'll be good.
Well, considering Parallax Hal Jordan had black hair, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's some minor issues with some of these figures that they just change things and nobody has any idea why, and we kind of just have to deal with it.
Well, that's no good. I'm not a big fan of that idea. Yeah, not at all. But what one? Let's see. Yeah, Hawkman I think looks good. Firestorm and Sinestro I think probably will. I don't know. I thought that one was Green Lantern Joker, but I guess you corrected me on that one.
Yeah, it's Hal Jordan from DC versus Vampires.
Which seems like that should be released in its own set, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, well,
Black Lightning
have
looks
Superman
cheesy.
Super is it? I think Superman from DC versus Vampires is out now. And
yeah,
now we have Hal
and
Jordan coming, so they're probably doing like a pseudo line.
I want to say that there's another one that's already out. I could be wrong though.
I want to say Wonder Woman.
Okay, because I was thinking one of the boys, one of like Dick or Jason or one of them, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Plus, there's all the deceased line that I could be confusing it with.
Yeah, which that wasn't McFarlane anyway, but it would go really well with my DC style Jordan. Which
right
now I'm trying to remember where he is because I just realized I don't think he's on my Green Lantern shelf.
Oh no!
What? Wait,
mistakes have been made. Uh-oh.
Where's my Hal?
Where the hell is my Hal?
Nah, it's gonna bug me now.
I didn't take it.
I'll look for it after the show. But yeah, that's gonna be a bit concerning because I know he's not on my bookshelf because I rearranged it last week.
The Illuminati came in and stole them.
Huh. Okay, that's not good.
Where did it go?
Fuck. Okay. It's gonna really bug me because I love the texture on that figure. Yeah, so when I find it, it's gonna look really good with my zombie Hal Jordan from DCeased.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I guess technically with my Black Lantern figures, technically, even though none of them are Hal Jordan, but
They probably look pretty good with my death metal figures too.
I think so. I think my DCs should go up against your death metal and see who wins.
We need to bring back the guys who did the celebrity death matches.
Oh, I can tell you right now who'd win. Death metal. If you remember, at the end of Death Metal, Batman was wearing a black ring. He controlled Black Lanterns.
Dang, got me.
Yeah. So
right off the bat.
Blackest Night would just lose.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is a shame, but it's going to happen.
What are you going to do?
Exactly. I know what we could do, though.
What?
Could get into some books.
Yay. I like that idea.
Did you want to do the honorable mentions? Do you want me to take it?
I can talk about them more in the bonus show, but this week we had some Night Terrors books that are going to be moseying their way over. Black Adam #2, Poison Ivy #2, and Ravager #2. One of those got an 8 out of 10. The other two decidedly did not. So you're going to have to tune in to find out which ones that were for the remainder of this week's Night Terrors. Also had the Sandman Universe Nightmare Country Special Thessaly #1. It's awesome. Tune in to find out more about what I think about that. Peacemaker Tries Hard #4. I've been a little down on this one, but I've changed my point of view on it, and it almost got an 8 this week, and then coming in at a whopping 9.5
Ooh.
is Young Alfred, Pain in the Butler. It's
nice.
You won't believe it, but it really is good. And again, I'll get into that more on the bonus show.
Is that a YA book?
It is.
Okay, right on. Yeah, some of those are really a lot of fun.
This
Like
is
it's marketed as a YA book, but realistically, it's all ages.
this one for sure. Yes, it is for the most part. The YA is because it might tackle stuff that ain't there for kids like fifth grade and earlier. But
I
this
just put
one,
the asterisk on all ages. Like you don't have to be a young adult
yeah,
to read it. Like you could be an adult and enjoy it.
it's very much like Saturday morning cartoons. It's like designed for a kid, but all of that humor that's there and stuff, every Batman fan will gobble it up.
Yeah.
But that's it for the extras that came out this week anyway.
Right on. Yeah, I should check that one out.
You definitely should. You definitely should.
I've only read 2 of those so far, and you can probably guess what they are. And I enjoyed the 2 that I read. Green Lantern Legacy and Green Lantern Alliance. They were both really good.
Oh, for the YA books?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are pretty good. Jessica Cruz's book was done really well.
Oh, she had one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out too.
Yep. You should. That's another one that's really good, man.
Perfect. All right. So we'll get into our main reviews now. Starting off with a brief intrude. Intrude? I was going to say intrude. I was also going to say interlude, but it's not even an interlude. A brief respite, I guess, in Night Terrors with the Joker #2. Written by Matthew Rosenberg with art from Stefano Raffaele, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Tom Napolitano. Very simply put, Joker is apparently secretly dressing up as the Batman when he's asleep. He's sleepwalking and putting on the Batman costume that is hanging up in his closet on the dead deceased corpse of Batman.
Who thought that was a good idea?
You know? He has no clue he's doing this, despite the fact that his wife, Lena Luthor, and son, just always
Albert,
like
what's his
try
name?
to figure out. They just think it's a bad dream, and it's a dream within a dream, man. This is becoming Jokerception, and I don't know how I feel about it. How is he sleeping in a dream? You know?
Well, haven't you ever dreamed that you were sleeping and had a dream before? Like you were,
that's the
you
thing.
were dreaming about a dream, and then you woke up and you're still actually dreaming.
The thing is, he's not dreaming within a dream. He's dreaming that he's going to sleep and then sleepwalking.
Yeah, okay,
and he's aware of him dressing up as Batman.
So I mean, who knows, man?
It's really weird.
Not a lot I can do to defend any of this story event.
Oh, I'm not even. I just like. It's really confused. It's really weird. Anyway,
it really was, because I mean,
it's silly.
Yeah.
But that's the point. It's just I'm honestly nitpicking. That's all it is. There's no logic to it. It's a Joker book. There doesn't have to be.
Yeah, without jumping ahead in your review. I mean, Go ahead and finish, and then the
Yeah,
listener will
we'll
be
finish
able
off.
to hear. Yeah, for sure.
So during his day job at Wayne Enterprises, Joker has made his way up the corporate ladder, even so far as conducting interviews with prospective new employees, which also happen to be various members of Batman's Rogues Gallery, because they know he's the Joker, despite the fact that he seems to have forgotten that, and they know that he's just hiding out there for whatever reason, despite the fact that he's not really doing that. He just got bored of crime. So they want to work at Wayne Enterprises too to lay low and get off the Bat's radar.
Makes
Despite the
sense.
fact the Joker is still not convinced Batman is still alive because he's hanging up in his closet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as time goes on, he gets a little meeting with Bruce Wayne. We all know what you're thinking, but Joker doesn't know that.
Mhm.
And this
Right.
Bruce Wayne is dressed up in a purple, like,
He's
scourge hat.
he's
And
wearing
wearing
the
the outfit from the Killing Joke.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
I was trying to
Yes.
remember what that hat was called though,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
don't remember.
Joker's killing joke hat.
Yeah.
Fair
That's fair. And Bruce is
enough.
just being really friggin' weird, and asking about Batman and what Joker's up to and how he can't joke anymore, and just didn't really go anywhere with it, but it freaked Joker out. He gets home
It's like
and finds his son
yeah,
has discovered Batman's corpse.
he's acting very Joker like Bruce is.
Yeah,
Like he invites Joker over for dinner. Says, "Is there any allergies you have?" He says, "Shellfish." The entire dinner is shellfish. Then
yeah.
it turns out that Bruce is also allergic to shellfish. It's I don't know, man.
It's
Joker's
weird.
worst nightmare is that he's got a day job and moonlights as a violent Batman, and then wakes up realizing he needs Batman.
Yeah,
I mean, we've heard that so many times before. It's something that I like. I don't see the need for it to be explained on the page, you know? And
yeah.
it ended up feeling very boring, which is odd for Rosenberg. He wrote this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I still love the art, but I feel like the book kind of let me down. And
that's fair.
I thought that this would be one of the good ones. Did you think it was funny? Did it land for you?
I thought it was funny, especially near the well, not funny near the end, but like near the end, it got a little more interesting.
Uh-huh.
Because the Joker then tries to host a trap for Batman, and then ends up getting tired and then becoming Batman, but his goons are attacking him, and his goons try to save him, and then he wakes up in the real world with Grundy and the ventriloquist and a few other people, and then he goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is very anticlimactic, but that's what you're getting in a dream world book. You're not going to have much of a climax.
Yeah.
um,
That's not an excuse.
well, I wasn't expecting a climax because it was never really a problem to begin with.
Right. This was just the Joker having a dream.
Yeah,
There was no larger story behind it, which
no, that this one, like this two issue part, this two issue
self-contained.
series, I out of okay, comparing it to all the other Night Terrors tie-ins,
Yeah.
it's at least in the top 10 for me.
Yep. For
Um,
sure. Well, I mean,
I'd have to look at all of them again to like see where it ranks, but I did enjoy it only because
there's
of the humor.
there's not enough of them to put them together in the top 10. Like maybe a top 5 and then the rest blow.
Well, if I'm ranking
Top
each all
3.
22, I'm gonna rank them all 22,
Jesus.
right?
Are there really 22? Is that the actual number?
Yeah.
Somebody stop them.
Well, at least we're on the second half now. We've reached the second issues.
It's
Some
I
of them are
can't
done.
handle it.
Oh, trust me, I was feeling the fatigue last week. It's too much of the same story all at once, and it's so hard to just care that much about a story that will have very little impact.
Very little to no impact whatsoever, and we're already seeing proof of that in the books themselves, man.
Yeah.
I hate to be a dick to one of my typically more famous or favored creators, with Rosenberg taking the weird and crazy and making it wonderful, and I had to give him a 6.75. This let me down.
Well then. Like I was saying, I still enjoyed it. I gave this an 8.5 because I got sucked into the dark humor of it all.
I
Very
think
macabre
that
at
just
times.
went over my head, missing out on the macabre humor.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Um, and even just there was some stuff that wasn't even macabre humor. It was just almost slapstick, which also kind of fits Joker. Like that page where he's interviewing Mr. Freeze, and he goes, "So, Mr. Freeze," as in his last name, Fries,
Uh-huh.
and Freeze goes, "Freeze, freeze, 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 freeze." What am I saying? Freeze. Okay.
He's
It's
saying
just it
it with
reminds
an
me of
Austrian accent.
Nicolaj from Brooklyn Nine Nine.
Oh, jeez.
It's Nicolaj.
Nikolai.
Nicolaj.
My name is Sanchos.
Yeah, it's that got me. I thought that was funny, and
Uh,
stuff like that, and the very macabre humor that
Mac-
really brought me around to this book. And the
mac-
art was really good, even though it ultimately
macabre.
went to nowhere. Um, to be fair, that's most of the Night Terrors tie-ins. They're not going anywhere.
No, they're
Um,
not.
so at
Uh,
least this one was fun to read while reading something that was ultimately pointless.
True enough.
Yeah.
Hey,
8.5
hey,
if I didn't give my score.
hey, Frenchie. You know that you pronounce it Les Miserables, right?
Yeah,
Well, macabre doesn't have the r on the end of it. It
I
is
know.
also a French word.
You're macabre.
No, I didn't see it coming.
Call me Frenchy, just 'cause my grandfather's from Quebec.
I got good fishing in Quebec.
Yeah, they got good poutine.
Oh, poutines?
No, poutine.
No, poutines. You're saying it wrong.
I'm saying it the French way, Mister Frenchy.
And that's the wrong way.
It's French. Poutine.
That's only useful in France and Quebec.
Yeah, that's where poutine is from. It's from Quebec.
I don't care. I'm gonna put that on Montreal
Which is
in
in
Quebec,
Quebec.
but the rest of Quebec doesn't count. Montreal is just kind of douchey, because sometimes if you go places and you can't read French, they get you a little bit of a side snub. But I like Montreal. Just the rest of it, I've seen too much Letterkenny.
So the thing about that is, and I'm only speaking as somebody that is loosely associated to Quebec. I haven't really spent any time in the province. Um, Montreal definitely has that beef with the rest of the country, with the English speakers, but more so, Montreal hates Toronto and Torontonians. There's just a huge beef between the two cities. Montreal hates Toronto
Why?
just for being Toronto, and Toronto hates Montreal because of the Canadiens versus the Maple Leafs. That's the big deal. But the rest of Quebec still has an issue with French or with English speakers.
I was have to
Um,
say
Not as
Ontario is a
much as
little
Montreal,
more.
mind you, but
It's
they do. Like if you go
Ontario
to
is
Quebec
the
City, you're gonna get the same kind of ignorance.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I feel like Ontario is the most Americanized of the provinces, and that is bound to rub lots of people the wrong
That rubs me the wrong way. Because
way.
what part of America are you talking about?
Just the in general.
Jeez.
The in general, like
Okay, so
if
there,
you're going to find
Ontario is massive.
if you're going to find an angry Canadian, you got better luck doing it on Ontario than any other province.
Ah, no, man, I gotta disagree there. You clearly haven't spent enough time with Newfies.
Oh yeah. Oh,
If
I mean,
anybody's angry,
yeah. For
when
some
they're not
reason,
talking about the homeland, yeah.
for some reason with Newfoundland, or like Labrador or any of those up there, I think of them as like their own little country.
That's what they want to believe. But of course,
I
Quebec does too.
yeah, that's true. I
Like the
remember all that stuff.
entire eastern coast, the entire eastern part, anything east of Ontario, just wants
Is
to be its own thing.
yeah, but
Except New Brunswick, they
you
like being independent.
sell Nova Scotia to the states so we can have Oak Island.
No. Nova Scotia is one of the fun ones.
I love Nova Scotia. It's pretty.
Yeah.
And there's Oak Island, which is like one of my obsessions.
And that famous curse.
Yes, indeed.
So if you're ranking anger in Canada, it's kind of funny, but you can start in BC, start in the West Coast, and
Yeah.
the further along you go to the East Coast, the angrier Canada gets.
That's a well, okay. That
Yeah,
angry.
that's pretty much how it goes. Ontario's got some angry people, sure, but like I wouldn't say it's the angriest in the country.
Okay,
And it really
but it's
depends
like
on
I
what
forget.
we're angry about.
I forget MAGA. I forget about all of the eastern provinces. I don't know why. Like I
Most people,
remember
they're so small.
Quebec, but Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia. There's one more up there.
There's two more.
That
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick sounds like it should be a city.
And Prince Edward Island.
Uh, yes, and that doesn't sound like it should count as a province.
You don't count as a province.
It's an island.
You're an island.
that's that's very true.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so that's how did we even get on this conversation?
The Joker.
Jesus Christ, right? Because I was saying macabre, and you were like, I'm a Frenchie. And
Frenchie.
yeah, jeez. Wow. Okay. I love these tangents we go on.
Absolutely. What else do we have?
Well, speaking of cities, we have City Boy number 3. And this is written by Greg Pak, legendary writer in my opinion, with art from Minkyu Young, colors from Sunny Go, and letters from Wes Abbott. And we pick up where we left off at issue 2. Superman has shown up to City Boy's side, Cameron. I forgot his name for a second. To try to
Yes.
help him out with the situation that he's got going on with Dr. Mokari-san. And if you haven't figured it out by now, he is from Apocalypse, and he is most likely Mokari.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man.
Yeah, I think the name was a dead giveaway. Because
Right?
Dr. Makari-san's whole plan is to use the powers that he gave to Cameron to control a city or speak to a city, to use it to take over the planet. And as this metropolis formed, or dragon, I guess, um, attacks Superman and flies away, it begins to technically terraform the borders of the city and all the grass and plant life into more city, which is a really weird sentence, but if you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right?
And the whole idea is that when you terraform the whole planet into one city, it's going to include like fire pits, steel and concrete, nothing but just building, and
Apocalypse. War
basically
world.
apocalypse. As soon as Superman heard the term fire pits, he figured it out, that Mokari Sun and Apocalypse have a lot to do with each other. Superman goes and tries to calm down this dragon of Metropolis after tying up Mokari-sun and the various members of Intergang. But the dragon is just too powerful for Superman, even, and won't listen to him. He doesn't want to hurt it because he loves the city, but the dragon won't listen to him. I guess he needs more badges to train it. Um, yeah. Little
it, it
Charizard humor for you.
it makes sense that Superman would try to talk to the city, though. I mean, and the
Oh, yeah.
city seems to recognize him, but the way it was drawn, it almost looked like the city knew who it was, who Superman was, but couldn't understand what he was saying.
Exactly.
Which I thought to be able to say that in art is that's pretty damn that's very talented.
Oh
Very
yeah.
talented.
It's very impressive. The art is actually really gorgeous too. Um, so after Superman fails, he flies off to grab Cameron and brings him to the dragon to talk the dragon down. Cameron doesn't think he can do it, but the dragon listens to him anyway as Cameron begins to have visions of the day his mother left him behind, and the dragon starts to basically not fall for Cameron, but like trust Cameron a little bit and takes him up for a ride, very never-ending story style, following a vision of the cab that Cameron's mother drove off in, leaving Metropolis, but the dragon cannot go any further, and the cab drives off out of sight. Cameron returns. The dragon reverts to a tiny form and becomes a little more friendly. As Mokari-san boom tubes himself away, Superman sits with Cameron to just be there for him, and gives him a little spiel about being a hero, but Cameron doesn't want nothing to do with it. He thinks his powers are a curse and it's not really going to help anyone. And as Superman decides to leave him be, goes off to help repair some of the damage, Cameron heads down and figures he can help out too. But as he helps out a little bit, he instead leaves the dragon with his little friend who Fujimoto, and heads off towards the next city, following the vision of the cab his mother drove off in. Next up, Bloodhaven, which interesting. I do find it very interesting, and I'll see where it goes. I'm not completely sold on this yet. I'll be honest with you, um, but it is a good story so far. Just the character and the plot, I need to see a bit more before I can really get into it and enjoy
Yeah.
it.
The way that they're weaving the city together with Cameron is pretty cool. I mean, he can't. He doesn't just hear it and talk to it, but like when he connects it with it like he's a part of it.
Yeah,
He can see the past of the city, which I think is just. I mean, talk about a million different stories that could come out of this, and not to mention all the secrets he would know, like secret identities. If that
right.
happened within a city boy could know all of it. Um, Metropolis is a pretty decent city, and that turned into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon card.
Oh, it
Um,
did. It
what,
really did.
what will Bloodhaven look like? Or hell, what happens if City Boy goes to Gotham? Those are terrifying ideas.
So I imagine Gotham would be either a golem or a gargoyle.
Oh, definitely a
Bloodhaven,
giant gargoyle.
yeah.
Yes.
Bloodhaven, I want like
Like
everything in my being says
Godzilla
pirate,
says.
but that doesn't make sense. Maybe like a kraken.
Maybe
Yeah.
that would have to be. I mean, it's. I don't think it's on enough water to go to a kraken.
Oh, it's supposed to be a port town.
That's true, but
Unless they're all going to be dragons, as this is just going with mythology.
hmm,
That could be possible.
it could totally be possible. Rob, it looks like you're going to ascend. You were so bright white, you were glowing. There you go.
Fight night.
Excellent. But, also, I think that the idea that City Boy is on the move is good because we've got enough heroes in Metropolis. That was my complaint about Hawk Girl showing up with Galaxy in Metropolis as well. There's more than enough characters there already. You can go, you know, live your own life in a different city. There's plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
I think City Boy would make a cool reserve member of the Titans, but I don't want City Boy to be swallowed up in a team because I think I think it's working great as a solo. The art is really good. I really enjoy it. The detail work with those kinds of colors just set it off. The whole We Are Legends line is knocking it out of the park. I want to say it's all the fault of Monkey King, and I am so thankful for that.
So I was gonna pitch something to you just now.
Shoot, before I forget, let me give it an 8 out of 10.
If I didn't, also an 8 out of 10 from me. Now, tentative title, but Teen Titans International. All right.
Oh.
You have City Boy. You
Mhm.
have Monkey Prince. You
Okay.
have Bunker.
Okay.
You have Mazi Menos.
Mm.
And you have
Mazi Menos.
yeah,
Minos.
the twins that could run super fast.
Oh, yes, Minos.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I have it.
And oh my god, what was the Sideways.
Sideways would be great.
Right.
I'm okay with you putting him on any team.
Now I know that's a very like gender specific team so far. I do want to include some female members, but like that's just right off the bat. Those are characters I want to see more of. So that's just why I picked those right now.
Right. Miss Martian
Miss Martian is a very good one. Yeah, I would
needs
love
to
see
be
more
in there.
Again, Mars.
Yep. That would be great. Black Alice will need a home when she comes back from the spirit world.
Eventually, and she has the connection with Monkey Prince as it is.
Yep.
Was it Monkey Prince or was it Sideways?
Monkey Prince.
Monkey Prince, yeah. Oh,
it was in Batman
Red Canary
versus
and Red
Robin.
Arrow.
There you go.
Yeah, done.
Done.
International.
Internet. I like it. Let's
Teen
roll.
Titans International.
Do you hear it, DC? Since you definitely never take unsolicited ideas, roll with it.
Yep. All right. So now we get into our last book for the show. before we take a break and then go record our bonus subscriber only show on our Discord. This is Justice Society of America #5, part of the new Golden Age from Jeff Johns, among others. And as I said, this is written by Jeff Johns with art from Mikhail Yanin and Jerry Ordway, colors from Jordi Belair and John Calise, and letters from Rob Lee. Picking up where we left off in issue 4 some many months ago. This book's been delayed a lot, but what can you do? I think timeline wise, it's starting to make a little sense. Net when we get to the end, you start to see why.
Yeah, it's like if I'm sitting there reading it going, wow, it feels like it's been months since I've read this.
Yeah. Well, it has.
Well, it has. A Jeff Johns book. It's a curse. Even if it's not his fault, it's a curse that's going to follow him. And that makes me so sad. You'll see what I thought of this book when it's all said and done.
All right, I'm scared, but we will find out. So Huntress has met up with her father from the past, Batman, and they just have, in true Bat fashion, have a staring contest. And have conversations through text boxes saying that, oh, we said this and this and this, but then they don't actually say anything until she goes and gives him a hug with an "I missed you so much, Dad." And Batman's like, "You shouldn't have told me all of this." But before they can get too deep into Bruce scolding his daughter for the very first time, according to him, the Justice Society, current Justice Society, show up with Madame Xanadu and Detective Chimp and the famed snow globe housing the Flashpoint universe to basically put a stop to what's going on with Perdegaton. And almost on cue, Perdegaton shows up and invites various copies of himself as well. Meanwhile, in his old laboratory from World War II, Stargirl and Jakeem Thunder are investigating, trying to find something that belonged to him, but then they come across a kid version of Perdegaton, who has been sent to kill them both, and it is as nasty as you think it is. This kid can fight. So can all the adult Perdegatons that are attacking the Justice Society. Madame Xanadu has a brief vision of the future where Degaton wins and just takes over the whole planet, but Dr. Fate intervenes as his fate is not visible to Degaton. Using the power of the snow globe and time itself, invites various versions of the Justice Society into the present, from the past, the future, and otherwise even further into the future, all to fight Perdegaton and his copied army. And you see all sorts of people, including ones you won't even recognize because they're that far into the future. But it looks really friggin' cool.
So cool.
And then three generations of Dr. Fate all fire a blast at Perdegaton one more time and imprison him in the snow globe, where you see Thomas Wayne Batman, Martha Wayne Joker, and the brand new Robin.
Whoa.
Harvey Dent's kid, whose name escapes me because it's been a while since Flashpoint.
Oh man, what is that kid's name? Is it Garfield? Grover?
Oz? I think it's something with an O. I don't know.
A D.
But basically, he's Robin, and they're one big psychopathic family.
Woo and shit, man.
Yeah. And then the Perdegaton copies disappear, as well as various members of the Justice Society from different times, including the one that the Huntress is from. But Huntress does not disappear with them, which is very curious, and is then discovered that the future Huntress came from is now gone thanks to her actions, and that is why the members of her Justice Society disappeared. Her Power Girl recognized her with a Helena, but it's too late now. She's gone. Why Huntress is still there, nobody knows, but she intends to find out. And then looking again in the present roundtable meeting of the current Justice Society, is trying to figure out that same question. what does this mean for the Huntress. But before they can get into that, Jay Garrick hears the word dad and turns around to find Stargirl, the Hour Man of the future, and his daughter of the past, Judy Garrick. And the trio are now showing up fresh off the heels of Stargirl, The Lost Children, and Jay Garrick's life will never be the same.
Never
So-
ever.
I'm fucking excited for issue 6.
How could you not be?
Yeah, it's been a fun series so far. As much as Jeff Johns pretty much has a stranglehold on Justice Society and has for the last 20 years,
Right?
I'm not mad about that. Like he writes good
Not
Justice
here.
Society. Like, it's good stuff to read. And this is it's just no different. Like it's interesting, it's exciting. He gets the characters, he treats them with respect, and I just can't wait to see where he's going to go with this whole bringing people from the past thing. Is, oh my god, I can't wait. And Our Man is going to be on the team again. I'm stoked. The art's fantastic, the story's really interesting. 8.75 out of 10. I'm getting so worked up, I'm almost ready to bump it up to a 9.
I mean, me sitting there and I'm reading this series and I'm thinking, Degaton, that's what you went with? All right. I mean, okay, a man out of time. That's all right. I can take that. But I wasn't thrilled. They took Degaton and upped the ante like crazy. Multiple iterations of the JSA, Dr. Fate, Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, Power Girl doubles. I think it's cool how they trapped Degaton in Flashpoint like some kind of a Batman Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
And when that thought crossed my mind, I don't think I'll ever forget it. Now Flashpoint Batman is Batman Phantom Zone.
That's fair. It's very fair.
They called Power Girl Karen, but it's Paige, unless it was the other Power Girl who might be Karen still, and probably is because she's from the past, but I can't tell.
So
Anyway,
I was
happened.
thinking about that. So yeah, time travel.
Right.
I want to say Speed Force ain't gotta explain shit, but like, so
Nice.
Huntress's future doesn't exist anymore. So it was part of a timeline that was different. When JSA started, Power Girl's backups and Action Comics had not started. So she was still going by Karen up until a couple of stories in when she became Paige. And that happened after Justice Society started. And like behind the scenes wise, Jeff Johns maybe didn't get the memo at the time. So by the time he finished this script, he could have finished it months ago, long before that issue of Action Comics came out. So he didn't know
Fair
that Power
enough.
Girl was going to go by the name Paige. But that's behind the scenes. In universe, I'll say timeline wise, in
It
her
could still
timeline,
work.
Power Girl was still going by Karen.
Yep.
But now that her future timeline has been erased and Power Girl is now going by Paige, that's a new timeline where it's all different because her future's gone and now it can be remolded into something new, which is Karen going by Paige.
Right. And now there's somebody's past that is going through the exact same thing because Jay Garrick be like, I don't owe child support, right? Because all of a sudden he's got a kid that he's never had in any continuity as far as I am aware of.
Oh, he has not, but he did
It's-
vaguely remember her.
Super cool. besides the fact that the art in the JSA book looks like what should be the standard in modern traditional comic book art, as far as I'm concerned, when I talk to you guys about comic book art, this is what I am talking about. And damn, does it look good. Lines, inks, shadows, colors, everything looks spot on in every panel. The direction the Huntress will be headed in feels a little cloudy, like maybe her character is gonna take kind of a lesser importance, even though she's a focus of the story.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel a little shaky on it, but that's not the case here. And I guess now this is where the JSA joins the Dawn of DC.
Yes.
Jesus, sweet titty Christ, this is just awesome. I can't say enough good things about the run, and it's only gotten better. Stargirl had me a little worried. JSA, not at all. JSA number 5 is stellar, 9 out of 10.
Right on. And you've convinced me I might just join you 9 out of 10 as well.
Yeah,
Up
man.
that quarter point up. Why not?
Oh, there's so much that's going to be going on. We can't introduce Judy without acknowledging the other children. What in good green earth has gone on with our man? We still have all of the Huntress shit to explore. It's
There's a lot.
Hopefully seeing more of the future Justice Society would be really cool.
That would be.
Visiting that new character in the next Dr. Fate and whatnot, that'd be awesome. But man, yeah, I like it. I'm trying to, apparently, but I said I couldn't say enough good things about it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And it's weird. We only had 3 books this week.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not a top 3. It's more like put them in order.
We've been putting top 3 of like everything, and then if you just want to hear about anything that we didn't review, check out the bonus show.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But well, I guess with that, I'll just start off the top 3, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, number 3 got an 8 out of 10. It was City Boy number 3. Continues to be impressive when I was adamantly opposed to the idea of a Jack Hawksmoor knockoff, and this is anything but that. Number 2, 9 out of 10 is a JSA number 5. It's stellar, man. It's Jeff Johns, and it is. Forget everything that he's been attached to for the last 7 years. All of it. This is peak Jeff Johns. It's him at his very best. And then number 1, an author that I never would have said, hey, I want you to write a Superman comic. Michael Dorn, Steelworks number 3. You'll have to listen to the bonus podcast to figure this one out, or at least find out what I think so. But that got a 9.5 out of 10 from this guy, and that is rare.
Oh, I can't wait to get into Steelworks because you're going to be surprised.
Oh boy. As far as a favorite moment, it feels like a cheap answer, but that double page splash of the whole JSA was just so damn pretty. It was done so well that I just sat there and looked at it for a while. And while it's not one of those prints where I'd go out hunting for it, I sure as shit wouldn't wait to put it up on the wall if somebody bought it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, my top three quickly is Night Terror's Joker, number 3. Quite honestly, really enjoyed the humor in that one, and it just did enough for me to get a high enough score. Number 2, I had JSA. Just talked about it. Gorgeous book. Number 1 is not Steelworks. It's surprisingly, even for me, Night Terror's Batman, and you'll find out why later on. But there's some stuff there that really put it over for me, and it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with Night Terrors. So, but
All
you'll
right.
find out in our bonus show when you subscribe to our Discord. Um, yeah,
And
surprised even me. You sound confused and excited as well of my number 1.
yes, I want to know what the hell, why you say I'm surprised about Steelworks, and why in the hell you would pick Night Terror's Batman. Hell, I would pay $2.99 just to find out. Oh, speaking of which, everybody, this is the wrap up. It is the end of the show. $2.99 will get you access to that bonus show. Go to the website, thegeekmatrixpod.com. It'll take you everywhere you need to go. Discord to sign up, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. It's everywhere. You can read our comic book text reviews on there, and we are once again expanding our indie corner to be an indie block as soon as possible. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Those are free as always, and you will be able to get it right there on our website. So that's it. And all right,
Before we go, I
yes,
just want to
sir.
give a shout out to people in the chat. How's it going? We have a few viewers right now. 01 Ella, A underscore
howdy.
OK, and Kata, if I pronounce all those right. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you in the chat.
And
If you're there, type a hi.
or howdy.
Yeah.
In either case, we will be coming back every Thursday night at 5 o'clock to do just this. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitch. The video podcasts and audio podcasts will be available the next day, along with the bonus episode that is only available on our Discord server. That's it. That's the show. Once again, thank you, listeners, for hanging around and checking out this stream. We are getting out of here, so that means you are going to have to as well. So be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek